Hello everyone, my name is Badal Panta and I am going to give a brief overview of Quality Area 1 Educational Program and Practice. In this presentation, I will start by introducing the rationale for selecting Quality Area 1, the context, and talk about the underpinning literature, frameworks, and documents. Moving forward, I will be discussing a summary of the literature review I have done and findings on how standards for Quality Area 1 are met with real life examples, and also the issues that needs to be addressed to achieve the standards of excellence. According to the Australian Children's Education and Care Quality Authority, Quality Area 1 of National Quality Standard focuses on child centered educational programs and practice for educators. The educational programs are stimulating and engaging and developmentally appropriate learning opportunities for children and provide opportunities for educators to extend learning. The reason for choosing this quality area is its focus on creating a quality program based on children's strength, ideas, individual knowledge, culture, and abilities. Additionally, this quality area supports the holistic development of children and focuses on long term benefits for children and the broader society. In the context of early childhood education, educational program and practice includes curriculum frameworks and pedagogical strategies implemented by educators in the learning environment. The quality area is linked with two nationally approved learning frameworks, My Time Our Place and Early Years Learning Framework, which guide meaningful development programs and pedagogical practices according to Fabrizio 2021. This area emphasizes the importance of reflecting in designing and accessing educational programs and practices that foster responsive, inclusive, and child centered learning and development. The Australian Children's Education and Care Quality Authority provides guidelines for services and centers by setting standards for this quality area. This ensures that programs are designed to meet the unique needs of children and assist the educators in aligning their practice with current curriculum framework and research. With play based learning as a core pedagogy, services must ensure a program that is intentional, evidence based, and reflective by following frameworks and documentations such as National Quality Standards, which sets the standards for services in Australia, early years learning frameworks, which emphasizes children's individual and cultural identity, well being, and holistic development, and developmentally appropriate practices that provides guidelines for active learning and child led teaching based on children's strengths and abilities. Current literature emphasizes children centered learning, inclusive practices, responsive teaching, and curriculum frameworks. These frameworks and literatures align with the elements in Quality Area 1, such as ongoing assessment and reflection, program design, and teaching practices. The literature review on educational program and practice highlights several key themes that are essential for meeting and exceeding standards in Quality Area 1. Children centered learning. The research shows that emphasis on children based learning and holistic development based on children's interests, needs, strengths, and cultural backgrounds leads to deeper learning and engagement. However, gaps exist in recognizing diverse perspectives and their cultural impacts, and in understanding why decision making, resource allocation, sensitivity, and adaptability to meet individual needs are important. Research supports various perspectives and insights into inclusive practices, but it focuses on theoretical aspects of inclusivity. Challenge in the practical implementation of inclusive practices in learning environments and in depth understanding of how inclusive practices can be achieved for socioeconomic, cultural, and special education needs are required. Studies have found the benefits of incorporating structured curriculum frameworks into practice for better learning outcomes. However, educators face challenges such as time constraints, limited resources, and family engagement when developing curriculum frameworks. High quality interactions through scaffolding, intentional teaching, and open ended conversations fosters children's learning and development. Addressing how educators can sustain these quality interactions when supporting individual needs and managing large learning groups has been a challenge. Furthermore, research on children's learning through positive peer interaction and collaborative learning is required. To meet the standards of Quality Area 1, services must demonstrate a combination of stimulating and engaging learning experience that enhance children's development. Standards that must be met include services ensure a child-centered program that recognizes each children's needs and interests and maximizes learning opportunities. Educators implement a planned and reflective approach to assessment and planning for each children's learning and development through responsive and intentional curriculum decisions. Services ensure inclusive practices that meet each child's unique learning needs, address equity and participation, and foster meaningful connections with families and community. Educators and service demonstrate a deep understanding of approved learning frameworks to promote holistic development and show how practices align with frameworks. Educators engage in responsive teaching, learning adaptations, and critical reflections to address gaps and practices. In practice, a childcare service might focus on play based learning as a core pedagogy and ensure a curriculum tailored to meet both group and individual children's interests. Educators may implement group activities and learning situations that enhances collaboration and aid in responsive teaching through scaffolding and open-ended questioning. The services may also document assessment and planning cycles showing how UILF practices, principles, and outcomes were recorded to meet the holistic development of children. Lorena identified three exceeding themes where early childhood services must go above and beyond to achieve an exceeding rating. Embedded practice. The service demonstrates a deep understanding of standards, concepts, and elements, showing commitment to high quality practice. Educators together implement curriculum aligned with EYLF and service philosophy, incorporating daily reflections on these frameworks. Critical reflection. Curriculum decision and approaches are shaped by team discussions and understood by the whole team. Educators reflect on improving routines, learning outcomes, cultural diversity, theory, pedagogy, and children's needs. Meaningful engagement. Curriculum reflects the needs and voices of local community and families. Educators engage with families to build and adapt curriculum, ensuring continuity of learning. Well, an example of embedding, exceeding the standard is a service where educators, families, and the community co design educational programs to integrate local and cultural practices into the curriculum. The center shares children's learning journey through documentation and reflection using anecdotal records, portfolios, and photographs. The services also explains how framework work to families so that they can provide feedbacks and collaborate on program adjustments. The issues to address to receive an exceeding rating or standard of excellence are limitation of resources. Services may face challenges like limited resources and time constraints that affect program implementation. Creative solutions such as community partnerships and collaborative teaching and shared resources can help overcome these barriers. Sustaining high quality interactions. Maintaining quality interactions and meaningful connections can be difficult in large groups. Educators need professional training and strategies such as small group activities and story times to balance individualized attention with peer learning. Inclusivity. Service must ensure inclusive learning environment that considers cultural, socioeconomic, and special needs. Understanding how these factors influence learning allows services to make appropriate program adjustments. Partnerships. Effective curriculum alignment with family and community needs enhances belonging and learning. However, engagement may be limited by cultural and or work-life factors. Services should implement strategies to gather input, engage families, and ensure co-planning. Continuous reflection, ongoing reflection on research, children's needs, and family feedback is essential. Services should promote professional development and encourage reflective practices among educators to make adaptive improvements. In conclusion, Quality Area 1 is an important aspect focused on creating engaging and inclusive child centered learning experiences. With play based learning as a core pedagogical approach, service can meet and even exceed standards with frameworks, responsive teaching, family and community engagement, innovation, and continuous reflection. Addressing challenges such as limited resources, group size, and inclusivity can help services achieve excellence and ultimately lead to holistic development of children in a positive learning environment. Throughout this presentation, I have used a range of academic references to support my discussion, including Esiqua, Fabrizio, and Lorena.